Do we have anyone from Salesforce?
Hi, yeah, my name is Warren. I'm here from the Air Canada Salesforce team.
Okay. So you are on the application side, right?
Yes.
Okay. And who do we have for as AC business analyst?
Hey, Arun, are you asking for the DBA?
No, I'm not asking. I'm asking for Air Canada BA.
Is this in regards to the Salesforce application?
Yes, who's the Air Canada BA for Salesforce?
Everything remotely technical related goes through me from Salesforce end.
And the functional part, who handles it?
That'd probably be me also.
Sinet, I think he's taking care of this application function part.
CNET?
Yeah.
And but I don't see him on the invitation.
He is.
Really?
Let me check. Let me check.
Okay.
Hey, sorry, Arun. No, Sinet is not the person for this interface. So, in my knowledge, I think Warren is taking care of all these things.
Warren?
Yep.
No, it was a question. Okay. So Warren is supposed to be the Air Canada BA then? Just a question, Warren. You are in the same team as Sinead and Margaret and Lauren?
No.
Okay. So that may mean that we don't have any Air Canada BA for this. Pallavi, do we have any technical tech lead?
For this, I think we have Tank, a design lead for this interface.
Sorry, come again?
Yeah, as for Excel, I can see Hui Tang. He is the technical design lead for this interface.
Okay, and it's not here either. So I think here we are missing tech lead and Erkana, the business analyst, and I see that on the list of application and points of contact, there is nobody for Salesforce.
So, Otto, can we do this thing we can start and just do the discussion and validate the things from wherein, and then after we will just share the recording and take their inputs as well.
Sure. Just make sure that we have an Air Canada BA and to put them in the loop of all these discussions, because you may need it. You may need them for all the whole setup and all the things that we may need for this interface and for this application.
Yeah. Okay, so I will just share the recordings and just provide minutes of meeting, because its design is due for 10th of Jan. Design date. Hey, Vaughn, what's your thoughts on this? Do we good to start, or we have to just reschedule this meeting?
I don't know how comfortable you feel without the tech lead and the ACPA.
Hey, Roman, are you a design lead for this interface?
Sorry, was that for me?
Roman,
Hi.
are you a design lead for this interface?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
design leads, yeah.
Okay. So, Otto, we have Roman on this call. So Otron, we have room and we have Warren. Can we start or means what should we do?
Okay, yes, I will start the meeting. We have the requirement IC SLF 0100. I am the person to develop the requirement.
Hey, hi all. So I'm just starting this session and start to share my inputs. I have some queries, some like requirement related questions. So we have Warren in this call. So I just want to take his inputs. So we have Warren from Amadeus. So we have also questions from him. So I think it's good to start this call. If all of you agree, then we can just start.
Sure, that's fine with me.
Okay. So, Warren, do you want to just give any brief intro for this app interface, or I can just directly start from my IMD work?
Sure, I can give a brief overview of the application and how it interfaces. Our use for this web service is for what's called the Services Fund application. So this is on the Air Canada B2B side, where we work with agencies. And in short, we give them this allocation of, well, it's kind of like a dollar value. And then over the course of a year, they get to use this allocation of resources to save money on certain transactions, in short. We use this web service. Actually, the only thing I use the web service for is to try to find the IATA number, which is a unique identifier for agencies. So try to find an IATA number related to a booking. And that's it.
Okay. Thanks, Warren. So I'm just going to share my screen and show some. I have some examples how EIP will respond for this particular interface, and what are the inputs that EIP needs, what's the service flow diagram for this interface, and what are my IMD mappings as of now. So I'm going to just present all these things.
Okay.
A question. So if I understand well, you take you retrieve the PNRs and try to find what is the office that made the booking and the IATA number associated to that office.
Yeah, in short.
And what do you do with that correlation, PNR, office, IATA number?
So based on the IATA number, we confirm that the agency does have access to the booking. And so if they are an agency user, so there's administrators, they'll get access to whatever bookings they want. And for the agency users, when they put in a booking, we confirm that the IATA that they belong to as an agency user is the same as the IATA on the booking, or it's one of their branches if they are a head office. And then in the application, so if it passes that check, in the application we'll show the complete booking information.
Oh, okay. And once you display that, so you do some check-ins if they have the right the correct permissions to display the PNR, and if they have, then you display
Then
it.
we move forward. Yeah, so then we move forward with the application. So we actually use a different web service to get the booking information we need. But we'll move forward in the application in that the agency user will then be able to pick from a selection of possible waivers that they want to apply to the booking. And then they will select it, they'll put in whatever information they need. So we take their contact information, and I think that's it. And then when they move forward with that, we use another web service to append a remark to the booking, and then we decrement from their allocation in the application.
Okay. And this is done manually by an agent, right?
Yeah, so this is done by an agent. They log into the application that is hosted on the Salesforce platform, and then they'll go through this, this form in the application.
Okay. And what are the inputs that you pass to the application to retrieve the rec lock?
So the agency will put in their PNR, their record locator, and then we use that in the web service callout to get the IATA.
Okay, so you basically only pass the rec lock as input, and for the output, you only require the IATA number, basically from what is returned, the piece of information you are interested. It's the IATA number.
Currently, yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Hi, sorry, I lost the connection, so I missed some of the information. So this is one of the sample which I received from Warren. So I have some questions. So Warren, we can see there are the two different sections where we are returning the PNR. So this one is the primary PNR or the requested PNR, which EIP will get from the application or from the Salesforce. Is it correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And now we have another one that is a source. So which PNR is this? Is it like a parent PNR or some linked PNR?
Unfortunately, my knowledge of Res 3 and how these things come together is pretty limited, so I'm not too sure.
Okay. And what is pseudo city code in terms of Salesforce?
Are you asking what do I do with that data point?
Hello, is it? Hello, I'm audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so sorry, my question was pseudo city code.
Yes. What about the pseudo city code? I don't know what the data point means, to be honest.
Okay. One more question. So does Salesforce return the connecting segment details as well?
Yes, but when the application was designed, I used another web service from the ACTU platform, and I believe they have another PSS implementation to work on that. So literally the only thing I look for in this whole output is via IATA.
And like, what is AC cabin class?
So my understanding that would be if the passenger is booked in economy, business class, premium economy.
And we have other one like class of service. So, and like in this sample, they both hold the different values.
Yeah, so again, I'm not the expert, but I think that would be when they purchase the fare, if it's Tango or Flex or so on. Yeah.
Yeah, Warren, your voice is breaking. So, it's only me experience or others are also experience the same?
I think you mean the sound? Or, can you repeat the question again, Pallavi?
Yeah, sure. Because like I'm also making recording and it's having a like breaking voice. So
I'm not having that problem personally.
no, your voice is clear to me. Okay.
So I guess she's asking if anyone else is having a hard time hearing me.
No, it's better. Your voice is better for in this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to speak up.
Yeah, sure. That will work. So apart from Warren, few more questions. So let's say my reservation is done and I did some change. I did some changes on my booking, initial booking. So at that time, Salesforce allowed to retrieve that particular reservation and expect any connecting flight details also.
Yeah, I guess it's whenever the user is in the application and they apply the record locator, we'll just go and grab whatever's there. As far as I know, there's no stoppage to Salesforce having access.
Okay. So make me correct here. I can see CNX indicator. So does this indicator indicates this particular segment is also having some other connected segments?
I have no idea what that represents. I'm sorry.
Okay. So Arun, my question is for you. So like once we have just make the changes on our initial booking, so I think Amadeus is not able to return connecting CNX indicators in PNR reply.
Right. CNN connection indicators. I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
I know I can say that we can return if I don't know if this part is specifically for married segments.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is, then we return an indicator if they are married or not.
Okay. So I have one more question. This is for a specific PNR status. So I can see this example is holding a value of claimed. So what are the other permissible values we can use for PNR status and itself claim what it represents here?
I'm not sure, unfortunately.
Okay, no issues. So like these are my doubts related to SLF response. So I'm just going to share like current IMD status and what are the like EIPs with the current mappings, how EIP will return the response to this particular application. Okay, so for SLF 100, EIP will perform a PNR retrieve functionality. So the expected behavior of EIP is to retrieve the existing reservation details for the requested PNR. So here EIP expect a PNR as an input from the calling application. So here we have assumption like application will send a PNR always in the request. So for this particular interface, EIP supports a get type of query and contains a PNR in the query parameter. Point in PNR and it meant because like is will just call Amadeus using PNR retrieve 17.1 version. So here EIP will send a requested PNR inputs to Amadeus. So once Amadeus get the PNR, it will just return all the details, available details to EIP. Now EIP will just transform all the details in required format that Salesforce required. So like this is a kind of flow EIP will perform for Salesforce 100. So this is like a EIP request format. So here we are assuming that everything comes under query parameter. So we will get a PNR here and same will be sent to Amadeus. Then for transaction purpose to Amadeus, EIP will use PNR retrieve web service 17.1 version. So here we can see like everything is like static apart from PNR. So this is the requested PNR that EIP will receive from application. Same will be sent to Amadeus. So now this is my EIP response mappings that EIP will return to Salesforce. So here EIP is able to return like when the booking initially was done. So a PNR, requested PNR when the booking was last formatted. Apart from it will also share the itinerary details. It's completely a reservation journey detail. So EIP will share journey details in terms of bound format. So like it will listed out all the segments in a particular bound. So for segments it will share the flight numbers, origin destination number, airport details like departure date, time, dates, terminal gate, status of segments, all these kind of information it will return in reservation journey. Apart from EIP is able to return pricing info. So for pricing info, it will share the complete total fare of the itinerary. So in total fare terms, it will share the base fare and total amount. Other than total fare, it will also share the prices in fare breakdown terms. So here it will also share the fare for each passenger type. So if any reservation or any PNR is having a multiple passenger type, also return the birth date of passenger, telephone, email details. Then if a passenger is having any loyalty account, then it will also share the loyalty account details. If any remark is present on reservation, same will be returned by EIP. Special request, if any SSR is present, then EIP will return this entire complete details in its response. If like it's also share the payment details, like what are the payment funds or traveler funds are used for the booking time. So same will be returned by EIP in its response. Apart from ticketing details will also be a part of EIP response. So for ticketing, it will share the ticket number and ticket type, ticketing status. So these are the details will return by EIP. Any endorsement detail is present, then same will be returned by EIP. So these are the like existing features which are available in EIP. So same will be supported for SLF. So I have some examples in XML format. I can show like, so like this is the current EIP behavior that Salesforce will get. So here you can see like this is one of my example for multi-bound multi-segment. So like you can see for this particular example, EIP is able to return segment details. So for segment details, it will return like date, time, arrival date, time. If any stop is available, then it will return in terms of count, return the flight number, booking class, segment status, departure day. If date changes exist, then it will return the same. So like marketing, career, operating career details. So like these are the kind of details EIP will return for journey structure. So you can see this is a multi-bound itinerary. So here like it will send the segments in terms of bound. So here like my segment 1 and segment 2 represents the bound one. So EIP will return this in this particular format. So if we just talk about the passengers, so right now EIP will return details like it's having any infant, so through attribute it will just define true or false. Apart from like what's the passenger type, it's like adult or senior or child or infant, same will be represented by this attribute. Birth date, what's the gender of traveler, so these details will come here. Apart from like passengers name details, so it will come in this format like given name, surname, first name, or like any prefix. So telephone details will come here, email details will here, loyalty accounts will be here, and then we have a traveler reference number. So this is a like something a passenger tattoo number which is assigned by Amadeus, so same will be written at this label. Other than this is our section for special remarks. So if any remark is present on reservation, it will come here. Then we have some staff facts details. So EIP will return these details under other service information. So it will return the text present there, airline details there. And then we have a special service request. So for each special service request, EIP will use a special service request section. So here it will use a SSR code, status, and then text. Then we have a like ticketing details. So for ticketing, EIP will return a ticket number, ticket type, and yes, its status for some of the interfaces. So like these are the details currently EIP will return for Salesforce. So I have a question for Warren here. So Warren, do you want anything else that we are missing currently and we have to update for Salesforce?
Yeah, so the only thing I said that I need, or that I don't currently get from the ACP web service that we use, is the IATA number on the booking. And it comes in the form of, well, yep, I have to look for it in a few possible forms. Hold on, so I can find the node. This one. Okay, so I'm putting it in the chat of our WebEx. So when I look at this web service, I look for that node first, so AC IATA number, and unfortunately it's not always there. And then if not, I look for this. What's that? Yeah, so what'll happen, so I make my request, I'll get the response back, The application will look for that ACI adding number node, if it's in the response. If not, then I just look for, it's a little bit of a brute force type, but I look for anything with that NS1 description description node, and then I look for a 7-digit sequence, and I use that for my IATA number.
Yes.
So I need that returned in the EIP response in the service, and if I get that, then it's fine.
Okay, sure. Apart from like, does Salesforce need address, passenger address?
Today, no. As long as the ACT web service continues to return what it currently does, then there's nothing else I need for this.
Okay. And does Salesforce support a booking availability feature? I mean, does it allow to show other availability booking classes in its response?
I'm not sure what it looks like, but I don't think we use it in our application today.
Okay. So I'm having all these questions. So apart from like nothing is from my end.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Roman, if you have any like comments or anything that I need to do, please let me know.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, that's it I have for this presentation. So I will just definitely work on my comments that I have to do, and we'll share the updated one in next week. So
Okay, sounds good.
yeah, if anyone has any suggestion, please share. Else we are good to close this call.
Okay.
Yeah, no questions from my end.
Okay, then I think we are good to close this call.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, bye.
Yeah, bye.